So, interesting article in The Guardian. Smoking while walking, not in New York if new bill is passed. Well, that's a little weird. They say smoking while walking would be banned in New York City if a new bill is passed into law. Councilman Peter Koo is introducing the legislation on Wednesday, and what he says is an attempt to keep secondhand smoke away from pedestrians. If the bill is passed into law, people would be fined $50 if they were caught walking and smoking on city streets. Smoking is already banned in many public spaces in New York City. Former Mayor Michael Bloomberg, a passionate anti-smoking advocate, banned smoking in public parks and beaches in 2011. The city prohibited smoking in bars and restaurants in 2003. In a perfect world, every smoker would have the self-awareness to realize smoking while walking subjects everyone behind you to the fumes, Koo told the New York Daily News. It has happened to me many times. I'm walking behind someone who's smoking, and I'm suffering for 5 or 10 minutes, Koo said. I see mothers with their strollers walking behind people who smoke, and they're exposing the baby to secondhand smoke. Under the bill, smokers would still be free to light up on public streets as long as they remain stationary while doing so. So, that's interesting. I mean, first of all, I kind of vaguely remember the laws that passed when they banned smoking on beaches. And I don't agree with that. I mean, first of all, you're on a giant ashtray. All the sand is nothing but a giant ashtray. Second of all, if you're on a beach and you're smoking, it's conceivable you're not even around anybody. You could be away from people. So it just strikes me as, and it was Bloomberg who did that, and let's face it, Bloomberg is the perfect example of like a guy who just takes his opinion and tries to force them on you. Like the no big gulp thing or whatever. Like, oh, you can't have large sodas. So what if they get 2 of the smaller size? Like, it's just you're trying too hard, man. Fucking pump your brakes. You want to help people? Do a fucking, bill for healthcare. Do a bill to increase wages. But no, this is the shit. We'll ban people from being free and doing things that only affect themselves. And so I was against the beach thing. They're trying to craft an argument that's less douchey on this one, but I don't think I buy it, man. So they say if you smoke outside but you stand still, okay, that's fine. But you can't walk while you're doing it. So what if you're like standing and smoking, but like you're moving from side to side or something, and like you're in a circle talking, but like, and then what if you're somebody who walks by the person standing outside and you smell the smoke that way? That's effectively the same thing as if somebody's walking and smoking on a New York City sidewalk and somebody's behind them. So it's weird. Like, really? So you have to go out and stand outside to smoke, but you can't move. You got to stand exactly still. People can still smell it when you do that, though. But you can't walk while you do. I don't think so. I think you're going too far. I agree with the banning of smoking in bars and restaurants because it's a confined space, and I think there's enough evidence that secondhand smoke in that situation is terrible. I'm not sure there's enough evidence that secondhand smoke when you're outside is a huge issue. Because that smoke is not going to stay in your vicinity. It's going to go away. It's going to go up and into the atmosphere. So it just strikes me as like they're being busybodies. Like, oh, we got to fucking fix shit, but let's do this thing that doesn't really fix anything but makes us feel good. You know what I'm saying? That's my take on it. So I don't think I'm in favor of it. I think it goes too far. I'm in favor of banning smoking in bars and restaurants. I wasn't in favor of banning it on beaches. I don't think I'm in favor of banning it when you're walking outside. That just strikes me as going a little too far. It's weird how the pendulum went from 100% in the pro-tobacco direction to the point where it was comical, where there used to be smoking and non-smoking sections in restaurants, which is like, what? It went from totally pro-tobacco to now, I guess the tobacco companies aren't paying their bribes as much as they used to. And honestly, tobacco companies are making a lot more money in developing countries now where the rules are more lax. But now I feel like the pendulum might be going too far in the other direction. And by the way, I'm in favor of, like, you want to do a tax on cigarettes to fund healthcare or fund education? Whatever, I'm fine with that. Who cares? But don't do ban them while you're walking. It just strikes me as too much. I can't really articulate why. Other than that, I just simply don't buy their argument that it's terrible. They're trying to argue that, I guess, secondhand smoke outside is just as bad as inside, but I think I'm calling bullshit on that. And I'm saying I don't agree with that. I don't think that's true. I think there's probably no research to support that. And if there is research to support it, it's flimsy. And it just strikes me they're trying to be busybodies and be moral, but they're picking the way to do that it's not smart.